by offering long Mandala Krishna. Om Ajakumi Ahom Manjazige Sashi Om Ajarige Ahom Chichari Goyogi Goyosu Riyori Shalom Do Zambole No Haranju Chandame Kuda Beba Ayam Yadena Lamdu Tami Yadana Yingida Rimboje Rio Bala Gishin Dure Mamambaye Londo Koran Novo Rimboje Zemo Rimboje Lambo Rimboje Lambo Rimboje Dajo Rimboje Mabo Rimboje Bezimbaye Boma Kema Tewama Numa Karan Mindoma Dubama Nasema Tija Mandava Chola Namara Yenze Zula Dami Benzo Buzo Bama Me Bazanji Higo Teda Minjen Zawala Yuma Jibem Ambanana Yemalo Yangjangbo Jibem Sabole Kwazu Yendu Shinkam Kuagiwo Duje Doelu Muje Jene Gandalo Mwama Kyunam Teta Adonam Bezembe Namdela Zulewalembo
For this retreat, the topic for this retreat is basically based on two texts. One is the short composition on what constitutes the reality, to understand emptiness or to build the wisdom. So we have the text in this book, In Praise of Dependent Origination. This is one text which is very condensed, particularly the first 30 verses are very condensed and require one is this one, the Defilements, whose statue is here. And the second one is a guide to the Bodhisattva's life. And of course, not the whole text. The whole text will take it's quite a big text. But we will do chapter 8, which is on the universal compassion, how to build the universal compassion. And the truth is, where necessary, we will also extract the segments from other parts of the text. Okay, with this in mind, the first thing that I like to share with you is that the class will be interactive. Mainly once in a while, I can ask a question to you, and you give me an answer, and this is one thing. And then the number two is that if you have questions, not just everyone word that I utter, then you raise your hand, then that will just disrupt the flow. What is advisable is that when, if you get a confidence that, okay, he said this, but this is going to be I don't quite get what he's saying at this point, but from what he's saying, he may touch on this area later on. If you get this confidence, then let us, otherwise as well, let's have a little patience to wait for the next 2 or 3 lines or the sentences, because that the point at which we, on the talk, we may delve more deeper in the following the lines or following the discussions. But if you do see that you get stuck with something, you want to know, without which the following discussion will make no sense, raise your hands, feel free to ask me. Okay. So with this in mind, first I'd like to just quickly touch on the biography of the Buddha Shakyamuni, because we see that the Buddha is our role model, and we see people, even whether you're a believer or not believer, you'll see the Buddha image, Buddha statue as like a decoration piece, because that the Buddha is seen as a person of compassion, peace, and anybody loves to have the statue of a Buddha, even if be it as a decoration piece. So now, all what we're learning here, how to awaken your true nature inside. So his basic principle, his teaching is based on rational thinking, and then so with this, we should feel free to ask questions. And with this, the start of how we're learning rationally to discover your true nature, and it can help us answer many questions which you might have under normal situation or otherwise as well. The many questions will be resolved by the studies which originally taught by Buddha himself. So if you look at the biography of Buddha Shakyamuni, we see that the morning he was born, as the very intelligent young prince. Very intelligent, extremely smart and intelligent young prince, meanwhile very compassionate by birth. And say the like with respect to, let's say, the issue with his cousin Devadatta, who was a little older than himself, and yet Devadatta, he demonstrated as not being so kind, whereas Prince Siddhartha, who later to become Buddha, he was exceptionally kind. And even as young children, he shot a swan. He shot a swan, and the swan fell. And then this little boy, Prince Siddhartha, he was taking care of the swan and really nursing like his own child. And the two of them, the cousins, they were fighting over the swan. And then finally the matter was reported to the king and the judge, and then finally this boy, the Prince Siddhartha, he took charge of this swan, healed, and this is his personality since childhood. Extremely smart, very intelligent, plus very compassionate. And then as you grow older, age 10, then teenager, he started to then see the complications of the community, complications of his family, the palace. And in the kingdom, you could see all complications, wars happening, and people are suffering of poverty, and the injustices. You could see all these things, and how one person bully others. So readily seen, particularly in his palace. It's a royal palace, royal family, meaning that there are some who are privileged, born as privileged, the royal members, and then abusing the non-royals. You could see all these things. And he could not tolerate all these things. So the point is that very inspiring indeed, very inspiring to see that somebody who was born as a royal and yet was against the royals who are abusing the common public. He was totally against this. Then finally, as you grow older, age like 16, 17, 18, 19, and particularly in 20, early as a young adult, he was really disillusioned by the miseries of the world. He was disillusioned. And then if you read the simple biography of Buddha, you may see that Buddha already, Prince Siddhartha, already in the early 20s, still he was less intelligent than the charioteer. Right? So like the charioteer is smarter. No, the charioteer, of course, he's like a student of Prince Siddhartha. But in the biography, to make it very simple for these small children to understand it, and this Prince Siddhartha, he met with a sick person and asked the charioteer, what is this? He knows it so well. He knows better than the charioteer. But the story is depicted like this. So it's just for small children. So therefore, and the charioteer said that this is illness. Of course, he knows it already himself. So these stories are keep in mind that these are meant for the small children. The reality is that he has seen these things: the illness, old age, and in the worst cases like bullies, all these things. So and the poverty, all the miseries have seen. And then yes, of course, he was inspired by the monastic, the mendicant practitioner. Then he was contemplating a lot, and came to realize that if I lead my life as I'm today, at the most he can become the next king. And what's the purpose of the next king? Look at my father, what he's doing. So I'm going to become more like him. So he could not forget about not being able to help all the beings. He couldn't even help the people in his own kingdom. So, but that everybody is suffering, not only the people in his kingdom is suffering, and forget about even the kingdom, even in his palace, abuse, biases, they're all happening. So no, I have to look for everybody suffering. I have to protect everybody, whether from your kingdom, from other kingdom, everybody, including the tiny insects. I have to protect everybody. This was the thought that came to this young Prince Siddhartha. So finally, he decided to look for an alternative way rather than becoming king. Alternative way, and look at him anywhere, wherever he looked at, he was seeing that it's the same problem. So, the leading the royal life will not really help him to solve the problems of the humanity and all the beings. So he had to look for an alternative way. What's the alternative way? He left the palace to seek for a solution to all these problems. Problems of not only the people of the world then, even of the future, like us. So because of this young prince, he thought about this, that now we are together here. If he did not think about this 2,500 years ago, today we will not be together. For sure we will not be together. His souls will not be here. And if his soul is not there, majority of the people come to Dharamsala. It's all because of his holiness. And it is not happen. And will not be here. Krishna will not be here. It's all because of this young prince Siddhartha who thought about this. I should think of the solution to all the problems of the human beings, animals, insects, and so forth of this generation, future generation. And then he looked for the solution, and he first sought the help of the first teacher, whose name is Acharya Dignaga. And this teacher already reached the meditative experience extremely deep level, which later, if we get time, we will come to learn about, which is known as the meditative state of the formless realm. So we have to learn this. Whole samsara is divided into three groups: desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. Whole samsara. So if you become enlightened, that's a different story. Otherwise, if you're not enlightened, there's no way. This is the only place. Our home, samsara home. That is, there are three homes: desire realm, form realm, and formless realm. There are only three. These three realms there. Desire realms means realm where the beings, they are more driven, pulled by the sensual objects, sensual desire, sensual objects. The five objects, sensual objects like what you see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. So those beings are known as the beings in the desire realm. Within desire realm, then human beings are there, animals are there, hungry ghosts are there, hell beings are there, and the god and goddesses are there. God and goddesses. So this is the desire realm. Then so where we are driven with the virtuous actions, in fact all what we experience, that the results of our own actions, on karmas. Actions meaning karmas. And then driven by the virtuous karmas, we take birth as human beings or god and goddesses and so forth. Driven by negative karmas, we take birth in the hell realm, hungry ghost realm, and the animal realm and so forth. So what's the rationality about all these explanations that we have to study separately? Then so those beings who are more, instead of driven by outside sensual desires, those who are more driven inside, in your own meditative experience. Your own meditative experience, the bliss and the pliancy of your mind, of internal, those people who are more driven inside, and of course they need to reach very specific meditative experiences. When they reach these experiences, then when they die, they take birth in the form and the formless realm. Form and formless realm, these are known as the realms of the gods. And within desire also there's one segment, God. But God, there's a stark difference in the quality of the God in the desire realm and God in the form of formless. They are very sophisticated in the meditative experiences. Okay, so form, and then above that is the formless. Within formless form, don't worry, you don't worry about what they are for the time being. Just know that desire and formless, progressively becoming subtler in the meditative experience. In the formless, therefore, the first one is known as infinite space, and you will get lost. Don't worry. I'm trying to explain the attainment, the attainment of this first teacher of the Buddha. In the formless, the first one is known as infinite space. Infinite space. Second one is infinite consciousness. Third one is vacuity. And fourth one is the peak of existence. Let me repeat it. Infinite space, infinite consciousness, vacuity, peak of existence. 4. What is infinite space? You may be more curious about this, although this is going to be actually more profound. But I'm going to quickly share something of this. Infinite space, what we see at the moment, what you see here is all physical objects. So when your mind becomes more refined, you see that physical objects are very gross. Like all these, you see them as very gross. And then what's subtler than the physical gross objects? Subtler than the gross objects. For example, say it is like somebody being extremely clean, tidy, stay very tidy, clean yourself, your house, environment. Suddenly you end up in a very dirty place, you feel so gross. So this is what your mind can feel, even if what we see as tidy is very gross, is all relative. It's very gross with respect to when your mind becomes subtler. Your mind becomes subtler, then you will see all these are very gross, they're so gross. And what's subtler than that? In fact, as the object becomes subtler, your mind becomes more peaceful. So, the subtler than the physical matter is the space. Then the next level is that they practice a meditative experience where you see everything as a space, whole universe pervaded by space. When you succeed in this meditation, then when you die, you take birth in the infinite space realm. So where you don't see any physical, tangible soul objects. But even that's also relatively, it's not that it's perfectly peaceful, it is relatively peaceful, which means that there's something better than this. So what is subtler than space? Your consciousness, your mind. Then the next one is that for those people who are even more sophisticated in the development of their practice, then they see that even the space is also very gross for them. Then subtler than that is your consciousness. Then they practice a meditation where they see everything is pervaded by consciousness. This is known as infinite consciousness. Then the next, what's next? Okay, so now, even the consciousness, there's something there as consciousness. Something there. So you say the person I, am seeing the whole world pervaded by consciousness. First, physical material things. Then you manifest to the more subtle one, space. Then from there to consciousness. So this object is consciousness, and you as a person who is experiencing consciousness. So now what you do is you drop the consciousness from the object. You drop the object of the two subject, your mind, and the object. You drop the object. So object becomes vacuum. So this is known as the vacuity. Vacuity in this sense. So this teacher, the first teacher of Buddha, reached that level, vacuity level, meditative state of the formless realm of the vacuity. Then after this, with the first teacher, the Prince Siddhartha, he succeeded in this meditation, and he soon reached the same level as the teacher. And he asked for more teachings, and the teacher said, "No, you have already got everything. Now you have attained enlightenment. No need for, there's no further teaching." But the Prince Siddhartha came here not just for his, the meditative experience, but to look for the solution to the problems of all the beings. And he said that, with due respect, I am still yet to get the solution to all the problems of the world. So he left, and then he met with the next teacher, second teacher. Second teacher is Acharya Dignaga. And second teacher, he reached even the higher level of the meditative experience. So within samsara, there is highest, which is known as the peak of existence. Peak of samsara or peak of existence. That is highest. He reached that level. And what is that? So here what we said is that, so when the formless realm of the vacuity, what happens? You drop the object. Now you see that still, you see the older object is dropped, now the subject is left. So you want to drop the subject. You cannot drop the subject, because the subject is your mind. And your mind, it never annihilates. Like our body is made of cells are made of molecules are made of atoms are made of electrons, protons, neutrons, and so forth. So electrons, protons, neutrons, these fundamental particles, they are not destroyed, they are not created. You learn that in physics. At the most, they can be changed to energy, and energy can be converted back to particles. Particles converted to energy. Otherwise, as a substance, it never annihilates. There is no creation, there is no destruction. Law of physics. You remember you studied that? How many studied with hands? Yes. So, just as the physical matter does not have on the elementary particle level, just as for the physical world there is no destruction and there is no the creation, likewise the world of the mind, the subject, also does not have the creation and no destruction. So therefore you cannot drop it. There is no destruction of the mind. Because at the most the mind can become subtler. The mind very gross, it can become subtler. So they try to make the mind very subtle, and at one point the mind becomes so subtle that if you are in that meditative state, people may think that you are like that person. So that state is known as a state with discrimination and without discrimination. Why with discrimination? Because it's a mind. There's no annihilation of the mind. So it is there. It should have, mind means it should have some sense, some degree of discrimination. Even though it can be very small, still there should be discrimination. Without that, it cannot be a mind. Discrimination doesn't mean gender discrimination, racial discrimination. No, this is a very neutral meaning. It's the ability to distinguish things. Okay, this is a clock, or this is a table, or this is to shift the center, and so forth. This is the discrimination that we're talking about. So, in both is mind, there should have discrimination. And why it is known as without discrimination? State with discrimination, without discrimination. Without discrimination, because that the discrimination means there should be some activity happening, but the mind is too subtle that ordinary people like us, we don't see any activity. It's too subtle. Because of this, that mind is known as without discrimination. In other words, the mind is so subtle. Okay. So the second teacher reached that level. And again the Prince Siddhartha sought the help of this teacher. And very soon the Prince Siddhartha reached the same level as the teacher and asked for more teaching. What did he do? The teacher said that, no, there's not more teaching. You have already got everything. And all my students, they are your students. Guide them. And Prince Siddhartha, he said that, I came here to look for the solution for all the miseries of all the beings. And still I didn't get the solution. Okay, then he left. Then he went into 6 years of practice, deep practice, and finally he got this wisdom to see everything like a dream. So once he found his wisdom, then he said, this is the one, if you experience it, all your miseries will drop. This is wisdom that I need to share with all the beings. So he became enlightened. So with that experience, then he went to guide the world with the teachings. And this teaching, of course, not that everybody will have the opportunity or the merit to meet with this teaching, and this is only, let's say, the meritorious ones will have, and of course, everybody is connected with karmically connected with the Buddha Shakyamuni Buddha, because we somehow be connected, we reap the benefit of that, but then with the teachings. And some of us, we meet with the teachings early in your life, some of us, we meet with the teachings late in your life. It depends. Okay, so those people who do meet with this teaching of the Buddha, we are very fortunate. How fortunate? Because that we learn the wisdom, how to get rid of the mental defilements and attain your state of fearlessness and infinite happiness. Okay, so if you turn to this page, okay, page number 5. Page number 5. With the second the verse which reads, "The one who is transformed into the reliable guide." Okay, so if you look at this biography of the Buddha, we see that the page 5, the second verse which reads, "The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teachers who are protected to your administrations." If you look at the biography of the Buddha this way, then we see that these 2 lines will make total sense to us. And these 2 lines were composed by a 6th century great Indian Buddhist master and logician and psychologist, Acharya Dignaga. Acharya Dignaga. He's the author of this verse. In fact, he wrote the whole text on logic, Buddhist logic and psychology. And these 2 lines are the words of salutation to the Buddha. He wrote these 2 lines, and then there also been all this background information. That when he was a hermit, he was a logician and he was a hermit. And his stories are very interesting. When he was just about like 10 years old, 9 years, 10 years old, a little boy, extremely brilliant, and then in those days, like 6th century AD, those days, no proper schooling like what we have today. Say, somebody who's a very learned, wise person's there, then all the children of the village, they go to him, that becomes the classroom. Under a tree, the teacher sits there, and the students all surround him, and the teacher, that's his classroom. And so at one point, the teacher was teaching a concept of the self, which is something independent of the body and the mind. Teacher was teaching a concept of the self, a person, which is independent of the body and the mind. And this little boy, later to become Acharya Dignaga, who wrote this. What he did was that so in those days and today is very different. Today, if you don't, the teacher evaluation is there. Teacher's evaluation, right? You know that? Teacher's evaluation. At the end of the semester, and all the students come together and the teacher is not allowed. And the students, they evaluate their teacher. But in those days, this is too much. You are not to evaluate your teacher. Whatever the teacher says, this is ultimate. So, the teacher, this boy didn't say anything. And then going back after the class, all the other boys and girls, what they noticed was that this boy stripped himself naked. Later to go Acharya Dignaga, stripped himself naked, and then he was holding, and then in those days no lights. He was holding a lantern and looking for something. And all the boys and girls, they thought that this boy has become crazy. And the next day they were so full of excitement, they went to the teacher and shared that Dignaga has gone crazy. This was what he was doing last night. Stripped up naked, and then they holding the lantern and going searching for something. And the teacher, initially the students, they would come with so much excitement. Teacher was also smiling. And when he heard what was said about Dignaga, this teacher became very serious. And the other students, they didn't know what was going on. What the teacher was doing. And the teacher asked Dignaga, stand up. He stood up. Did you do this? Dignaga said, yes, sir. Teacher said, get out of my class. And all the boys and girls, they were confused. Why? And Dignaga, he was giving this answer so confidently. Yes, sir. And the teacher was extremely treating this boy like a grown-up man. And said, get out of my class. And Dignaga happily left the class. And then later he became a logician, philosopher, psychologist. And then he composed this. So these two lines, you all read it this morning. We read it. You read it and you feel like reading commentary on this? You feel like writing commentary on these two lines? How many of you, this thought came to you? Raise hands. No? There was one great master who appeared 100 years later by the name Acharya Dignaga. He read these two lines and said that these two lines are so laden with meanings. These two are so heavy with the gravity of the meanings there. Then he wrote a commentary of 283 verses just on these two lines. How many thought about in commentary when you read these two lines? Raise hands? Okay, don't worry. So the whole commentary is written on these two lines. These two lines are extremely meaningful. Now, since that I've already shared with you the biography of the Buddha, if you read this again, it makes sense to you. Okay. First it says, the one who is transformed into the reliable guide. For you, tell me, if there's one person who's most precious, valuable to you, who will that person be? Not necessarily you have somebody, but someone who is so valuable, indispensable, required, valuable in your life. Raise hands. Your thoughts. Raise hands. What do you think? Yes.
My mother.
Mother, why?
Because she taught me so much.
Taught me so much, gave me so much love and affection. Very good. And people have different answers. You getting it? Your name? Valentin has this answer. The mother, very good. The lady over there?
A mentor. Okay.
A mentor. What do you mean by mentor?
Somebody who both inspires and also helps reflect and point you in the right direction.
To give you directions, who is like role model for you, give directions, mentor, right? Anyone else? Yes. A child.
Because we're responsible for them and they're also good teachers. They don't have filters to just...
So as you were helping the child, from there you learn a lot from your child. So they serve as your teacher. Very good. So we see that mother is one of the greatest mentors in the world. The mentor. This is the point. So they're finally, I want to be happy. I want to succeed in my life. I want to have a meaningful life. For this, I need a mentor. I need a guide. So the first line says, the one who has transformed into the reliable guide. You getting it? Okay, so the point is that, say, even if there are some ultra rich people, ultra brilliant people like Albert Einstein, ultra rich like, person ABC, who's ever, and ultra beautiful, handsome, whatever. What's the use of that person for you? What's the relevance of that to you? You getting it? For me, when I was whose age? Maybe like that girl's age or Mani Diva's age. When they age, Mani, how old are you? 26. This girl? 23. The girl over there? You? 31, okay. Okay. Younger boys, they are not allowed to come here. Only the younger girls come. You?
32.
Okay. Anybody who's a boy in your 20s?
I'm 90.
Oh, 19. Okay. And here?
23.
23. Anybody who's younger than 19? Okay, I said 19, right? I must be age 16 then. 16. And I was so crazy after one person, Albert Einstein. Because I was so full of physics in my school days, class 9, 10, 11, the 4 days in my high school, I was so full of physics. And my friend who left for America, maybe two or 3 years older than me, then he sent me, in those days no emails, right? No emails. Okay, 40 plus you know, not 40 plus, 50 plus you know that. In 20s, 90 you have no clue what I'm talking about. You getting it? So you buy envelope or you buy separately, stand separately and write a letter and you send that to America. You wait for 1 month. You getting it? Send it and you get the reply. You expect the reply only after 1 month. You have no clue, right? Okay, so and he asked me, and Dorji, what do you want from America, right? For him, he's waiting for another 1 month to get the reply. And I said, Albert Einstein's poster, huge poster of Albert Einstein. And it never came, even after 50 years. Not 50, 40 years, it never came, right? So so this is what I'm crazy after. But today, if somebody says, oh Gijala, I have the Albert photograph, I'm not so interested. I appreciate him so much. Yes, he's a brilliant genius, but it's not related to me now anymore. For me, I like physics still, but this is not the ultimate for me now. For me now, it's very different if there's a shift in my interest. So what I'm saying is that he's great, but it's not really relevant to me. Likewise, ultra rich people today, well, they're very rich, but what they do, what's related to me? You're getting it? And for example, I really appreciate Messi, but I have nothing to do with him. You're getting it? I really appreciate his skills. It's amazing. And some people who are into Ronaldo, you may not be too happy. Right? I appreciate both. But I have nothing to do with that. I'm not crazy to keep his photographs, and I don't even keep his photograph. For me, it's totally irrelevant. You're getting it? I appreciate their skills, but it's irrelevant. So the point is that what is relevant to us is someone who can mentor us to succeed in your life. Whatever you are looking for, if someone can mentor properly, that is the most important thing. So this Prince Siddhartha, the young Prince Siddhartha, he was thinking of becoming somebody to inspire, to mentor others from miseries to fearlessness, from the lack of joy to the infinite happiness. This is what he was looking for. How I can guide everybody to that state, to mentor everybody to the state of fearlessness and infinite happiness. So the first line is this: the one who is transformed from a young Prince Siddhartha to the reliable guide as the Buddha, the awakened one. So now look, the meaning, the words, these lines make full of meaning. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide. Now, the Buddha, you become such a reliable guide to us as the best of the mentors to take us to the state of fearlessness and infinite happiness. And how did you succeed that? He says, the one who is transformed. Transformed meaning, initially he was not, and then he became, right? So therefore, this is a great inspiration for us. If somebody somebody comes and says that, I'm the divine, right? But I cannot become divine. No, you cannot become. You're ordinary person. I'm divine, right? If this is the case, then there's no hope for us. He's amazing, but I have nothing to do with, for me. But this Buddha, once he was as ordinary as what we are today, and he transformed. Oh, we can also transform. Yes, of course you can transform. So when the word transform, it has a full of meaning. That we can also become one like him. We can also become someone who experiences fearlessness and infinite happiness. And not only that, you can also mentor others. Mentor all the other beings. Okay, this meaning, the one who is transformed into reliable guide. Reliable guide meaning the mentor. You getting it? Okay, next question is, how did he become a mentor? Such a refined mentor. How? First one is motivated by altruism to benefit all the beings. Meaning that he was in the, now look, how his journey started. He was in a palace as a young man, as a young boy in a palace. Then he was witnessing all these problems, miseries in the palace, in the kingdom, wars, people dying, abuse. He could see all these things. The royal members, men, they're abusing the females. All these abuses were happening, and he cannot stand all these. So he was thinking of, well, these are the problems for the victims and for the perpetrators both. Because perpetrators, you are creating a new chapter of miseries for yourself. So he was moved with compassion to benefit the world. So the next line says, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings. This is the initial trigger of his journey. Motivated by this. Then what did he do? He left the palace. For what? In search of the solution. Solution which he once found to teach the beings in ways of mentoring them. So it says that the teacher meaning the solution to be taught to the beings, solution to get rid of the miseries to be taught to the beings. So the teacher. So in order to teach it, first, he has to experiment it himself. You agree? For example, when the COVID vaccine, Pfizer and what else? Moderna. What else? These are two main, right? These are two main vaccines. So let's say that these vaccines, once the vaccine is discovered, then you market it. Test it. You're getting it? To see the efficacy of the vaccines, to see the efficacy of the medicines, you have to first test it, experiment it, to see what's the efficacy of this. So, the Prince Siddhartha, he actually tested the solution. What is the solution? Solution to all the problems, the panacea to all the problems is the wisdom to see everything like a dream. So this wisdom to see everything like a dream, he found it. Once he found it, he first experimented on himself. He meditated on this, to see everything like a dream. And then what happens is that, like the iceberg, Arctic Circle, 1,000 years ago, global warming was there, not there. 2,000 years ago, not much, right? So there, icebergs in the Arctic Circle, they're very firm, yes, very firm, not firm. Arctic Circle, Antarctica, The iceberg, they're very firm. So if you stack, story, it can hold. Then the, say, 2024, right, with this gradual global warming, then icebergs, they become thinner, they collapse, then all what was stacked on top, collapse. So, ignorance as iceberg, because of this experimentation by this Siddhartha meditating to experiment this solution, the wisdom of emptiness, wisdom to see everything like a dream. There is meditation on this wisdom. Now what happens? Iceberg of the ignorance starts to melt. When the iceberg melts, then all what is stacked on top of this all crumbles down. All the miseries crumble down. So we experience the total fearlessness and infinite peace. So Sugata. What is next? The teacher? Sugata. Sugata meaning the one who has gone to the ultimate bliss of purity. So when the iceberg of self-grasping ignorance melts, all the miseries dissolve. Misery zero is the ultimate bliss of purity. One experiences that Sugatahood. With this experience of Sugatahood, then he became so confident. Now I found a solution. So this has to be shared with the other beings. So he went to protect the beings by sharing this wisdom with others. What's the next? Protector. You getting it? So look, so this is how you, Prince Siddhartha, you traverse your journey towards becoming a reliable guide. So because of that, your example is so relevant to what I'm seeking. I'm also seeking, say, the fearlessness and infinite happiness. And you have traversed that, you have experimented, you have gone through this path yourself, and now you have reached there, you are the perfect mentor for me. So mentor, this is the reliable guide. A guide who can lead you to what you desire, and that too someone who's very reliable. This is meaning of root guru. You're getting it? Not like anybody. Right? Someone who you are very confident that you look at this person. So Prince Siddhartha, so he was motivated by this desire to benefit all the beings. Then he went to look for the solution for all the problems. He found it and he experimented it, and then he saw the efficacy of this at 100%, and then he went to protect it. So therefore he is the reliable guide. He is my root guru. So this is how we choose the root guru. Not just by somebody said you need root guru and then you go to hunt root guru. No, don't go to hunt root guru. You're getting it? So this is so important. This is really inspiring. Okay, now the point is that from what we have thus far discussed, what did you learn, anyone? What we have thus far discussed, what have you learned? Yes?
We can all become Buddhas.
We can all become Buddhas, yes! Very good, you put it so beautifully. Yes, now I don't have to go for the second question, right? Otherwise, anyone else? Okay, thank you. We all can become Buddhas, meaning that it's not that we all can become Buddhists. Buddha, this is different, you're getting it? Buddha means awakened. There was someone who's awakened, where you have experienced what you desire ultimately. You desire fearlessness and infinite happiness. Okay, now say in my right hand, handful of sand. Left hand, handful of sunflower seeds. Handful of sand, I squeeze. Oil comes out or not come out? No. Handful of sunflower seeds, I squeeze it, oil comes out, not come out. It comes out. Why the handful of sand, squeezing of this does not give rise to oil? Does not give rise to oil? Why not?
Not his name. It's not his name.
The handful of sand does not have the nature for oil. Right? So, in order for the oil to come out, this object, the sand or these sunflower seeds, they should have the potential for the oil. Yes? Likewise, for us to become Buddha, there should be potential for Buddhahood. If you don't have potential for Buddhahood, no matter how much what you do, no matter how much you can appreciate the Buddhahood. You're getting it? So therefore you have the potential. We have to check if we have the potential. If you have the potential, then better, put effort. If you don't have the potential, no point. Whatever you do, there's no point. You're right. So you squeeze a handful of sunflower seeds and all comes out. Oh, I have also sand. You squeeze a hand of sand, no oil comes out. Why not? Your effort will be in vain. It's just pointless. So therefore, only if you have the Buddha nature, you can think of becoming Buddha. Right? We said we all have the potential. Your name? Terry. So what Terry is saying is that what we've learned thus far is that we all have the potential to become Buddha. We all can become a Buddha. To become Buddha means, say, putting effort, Buddhahood comes out. So which means you should have the potential for the Buddhahood. If you don't have this, no matter how much we put you can become a Buddha. You cannot become a Buddha. Right? Okay. Do you have the potential for the Buddha? This is the question. You getting it? Do you have the potential for perfection? So the answer is to say, no, suffering is a part of it. You have to accept it. If you become, if this is your answer, this is the shortcut. This is the easiest, but it will not help you. Right? Nobody will ask you second question. How come that you cannot become Buddha? Nobody asks you that. If you say, no, we cannot become Buddha, we are just like this. Right? Then full stop, and you continue to suffer. Whereas we need to revolutionize our thinking. So instead that, yes, we can become a Buddha, right? Then the question will, how? Right? Then when you say how, then you think. Then your thinking grows. If you say no, you will not think. You have an incredible power of thinking, potential for thinking, but you are not using it. You are not using this thinking power adequately. Only when you ask these questions that yes, we can become a Buddha, then the question was how? Then you will think how. You getting it? So this is how your intelligence is being activated. You only have the incredible potential for this intelligence, and it needs to be activated with questions. Questions will come only when you become positive. When you're negative, the questions will never arise and you will continue to suffer. Okay, so the answer is yes, we can become Buddha. How? Because we have the potential for the Buddhahood. What is that? That is known as the Buddha nature. We all have the Buddha nature. Whether you're boy or non-boy, girl, non-girl, whether you are the Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Jains, Baha'i, whatever, non-believers, everybody has the potential for awakening. Everyone has potential. What's the next question?
How do you know?
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that we all have this potential? This is a good question. For this, today's class is about the Buddha nature. How do we know the presence of the Buddha nature within? You getting it? Okay. In the first place, that let's say that Dharamsala in the month of Dharamsala is very pleasant. Okay, is there anybody from a place which is otherwise very hot in the summer? Anyone? From a place which is very hot in summer?
Australia.
Australia, what temperature?
It gets up to 40 degrees.
40 degrees. Okay, 2 years ago I was in Europe, in France, and my friends, they are sending me letters after letters of letters saying, Gishila, be careful, be careful. Then I said, what should I be doing? Right? Be careful, what should I be careful, in what way? Right? There's going to be heat wave. You remember? It was from the Europe 2 years ago. There's going to be heat wave. Be careful, be careful. I was too scared, right? So what is heat wave? It's going to be very hot. Like what temperature? 36. What is this? So pleasant. I'm from Delhi. 46 degrees centigrade, 47 degrees centigrade every year. No heat wave complaint. Right? 36. Wow, it's so pleasant. Very pleasant. And then what heat wave? It's so pleasant. You are making me to miss this pleasant weather. Right? So the point is that, why is that it? Okay, there's Buddha nature. Okay. So the point is that you will have this. Let's say that you are in Delhi. Which country are you from? Denmark. Come to Delhi. Delhi in the month of June, July. Come. You must come. But if you feel hot in Denmark, in June, July, come to Delhi. I will take you for a holiday to Delhi. Alright? One time my sister, who is living here in Narumsa, just here, TCP school. One summer, she called me up and she said, Gishela, it's very hot. I said, don't worry, if you're hot, come to Delhi for a holiday. 1 year holiday, come. Right? I didn't complain, she complained. And then I invited her to come for Delhi for holiday. Here, 32 degrees centigrade, very hot. Delhi 46 degrees centigrade, I didn't complain. I invited her to come for holiday. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying is that the saying that do we have this potential for Buddhahood? Answer is yes. So let's say that Delhi, 46 degrees centigrade. 46 is every year it hits 46. Not for too long. Average it remains 40, 42, 43 is average in the summer. But it's a very beautiful place. Very beautiful place. I love it. You think I'm joking. I'm not joking. Yeah, so you may complain about the heat. Don't worry, it's just about like three months. 3 months and 9 months are very pleasant. And particularly I like Delhi, why? Because that once I was in Pune, I flew to Pune, I landed and my host who came to receive me at the airport was sweating and said, Gisha, I'm very sorry, it's so hot here. I said, no, it's so pleasant. He said, it's so hot. No, I'm not doing so hot. I said, it's so pleasant. And he was literally sweating. I said, okay, I'm so grateful. Now I feel I'm so grateful to Delhi. Because of Delhi, wherever in the world I travel, it's so pleasant. So I get the opportunity to feel the beauty of the whole world. Because of my experience in Delhi. It's amazing. If I have no experience of Delhi, I cannot appreciate. Wherever I go, there's a complaint, right? I have no complaint. Wherever I go, it's so pleasant. Here is also very pleasant. It's amazingly pleasant. Winter, right? Cold is so pleasant. Because in Delhi, again in the winter, it's so cold. It's so pleasant now. Right? Summer, so pleasant. Winter, so pleasant. Wherever I travel, so pleasant. And the Europe heat wave, so pleasant. Okay. So the point is that, let's say that in Delhi, you're all in Delhi with us, and in the month of, oh, by the way, General, whether your name? With the hat.
Oh, Rishi.
Rishi, tell me, you were in Delhi?
Yes, recently, yeah.
Oh, just recently, which means you have not been living there.
No.
Okay. So they say, if you're in Delhi, 46 degrees centigrade, and then the part of Tibetan's program. And then our young boy and girl there, Ravima and Sijula, they made you to work so hard. Right? So let's have fun. What is fun? Working hard. Right? And they don't give you any water. And under 46 degrees centigrade, no water, going hard for 4 hours. Then you say, I want to drink, I feel thirsty. can get some water. And both of these young boy and girl, they go to get water from Yamuna river. Right? And they give this water. You will drink it? Your name?
Rainbow.
Rainbow, you will drink it? Yeah.
Probably not. Depends.
What?
If the depends how clean the river is.
Okay, so which means that Yamuna is very innocent with respect to the river, right? Okay. Your name?
Lisa.
Lisa, tell me, you like drink? Why not?
I know the river.
Huh?
I know the river. It's very polluted.
It's very polluted. It's a very dirty river. Oh, not river is polluted per se. The per se is not polluted, but so polluted by the industry. What? Sewage from the industry. The going here. Very dirty water. And give the water, you will not drink it. You will not drink it. And even though it's so hot, you are thirsty, still you will not drink it. Now what I do is that, what to do is that they put this under the purification process. Purification process, reverse osmosis, and ultrafiltration. With these two processes, then very clean water comes out. You like to drink it? Yes. Yes, you like to drink it now. You're getting it? You like to drink it. Okay. Tell me, this clean water came from where? Listen, where did it come from? From dirty water. Dirty water, there's no clean water there, it's so dirty. Where did it come from? Dirty water is very dirty, it's not clean. But what you're drinking now is very clean. Where did it come from? Did it come from Himalaya? Mount Everest? No, it didn't come from Mount Everest. So, don't forget this. This one analogy. Second analogy that I like to draw is the singing bowl. This is made of what metal? Not copper, brass. Let's say that I saw a golden singing bowl, and I saw this. Oh no, I want a golden singing bowl. So with the water, I can make this dirty water into drinkable, clean water. I also want to make this singing bowl into a golden singing bowl. So how? With the dirty water, you remove the dirt. So with the singing bowl, I remove the brass particles. With the brass particles, remove it. Do you think that it will become a golden singing bowl? It's not. What happens? Singing bowl disappears. You get it? Instead of singing bowl becoming golden singing bowl disappears. When you go to water, instead of the water disappearing, water becomes clean. What's the difference? In the case of water, in the case of this dirty water, you remove the dirt, the water becomes so clean, the purity comes out. With the singing bowl, instead of becoming golden singing bowl disappears. So what's the difference? Huh? Which one?
The inside nature of the water is water, even it's dirty, and the inside nature of the bowl.
So the dirty water, however dirty the water is, the inside meaning the true nature. True nature of water is not dirty. With a singing bowl, true nature is not gold. True nature is brass, right? So when you remove the dirt from the water, you are not removing the true nature of the water. You are removing the adventitious nature of the water. You remove the adventitious nature of the water, the true nature manifests. With the brass, you remove the true nature of the brass, the singing bowl. When you remove the true nature of the singing bowl disappears. So each one of us, what was our point? The question is, how do we know that we have the Buddha nature? You getting it? So our mind is not like the singing bowl. It's like the dirty water. However dirty the water is, the true nature of the water is so pure. It is dirty, not from the true nature, it's dirty from the adventitious nature point of view. So the external dirt added, so therefore it becomes dirty. Otherwise true nature, say as the external pollutants are added, the true nature became dormant. It is not. It does not disappear. It is there, but it remains dominant. So our mind is like the dirty water. Our mind is like our defiled water. Okay. And how do you know that our mind is like a defiled water? You know that? Okay, Friday evening, what is Friday evening like and what is Monday morning like? You know that, right? Monday morning, what is that like? You smile? No, everybody looks so grumpy. Friday evening, everybody looks so happy. Friday evening, right? Once in the retreat, there was my host. He has a little boy who must be age 6. And when I go there, it so happened that it was weekend. And this boy was, his noise simply filled the whole building. And then is Saturday, Sunday, and the Monday. Monday, the whole building was so quiet. And I asked my host that your son left for school? He said, no, he's still there. I said, no, I can't hear him. He said, no, this is what happens on Monday. Monday morning, the whole building is so quiet, right? And then I said, no, is it true that he's here? He said, yes, he's here, and he'll come to meet you. And when he came to meet me, he was like a ultra-tamed, monkey. like this. You could not believe that he's the boy who was during the weekend. Very different. So this is how our mind behaves. Look, this is how our mind behaves. How our mind is so defiled, can easily be fluctuated with anger, attachment, excitement, jealousy. This is how the mind. But the true nature of mind is extremely beautiful, so pure, so pure. It's so pure like a pure gold. Okay, this is the true nature of mind. This is the true nature of mind, and you may wonder that this is example, but how do you know that our mind actually is like that, not like the brass singing bowl? How do we know that? Okay, first, don't forget this example. This example is so important. And then they say every time, for example, say somebody from behind, somebody hits you like this, are you happy, not happy? Huh? Not happy. And so what will you do? You should, before you show anger or show disapproval, you look at the person. If the person is your brother, who was separated from you the last 4 years because of COVID, right? And you crave to see him, right? This is a gesture of affection. You love this gesture. Whereas if it's your neighbor, your complicated neighbor, how dare you don't touch me, right? How dare you get out? So the patting, this per se is not good or bad. How you interpret it, you're getting it? So when you see that it's coming from your brother who was separate from you for the last 4 years, and you crave to see him, and then extremely beautiful this feeling comes to you, right? Where is this? From where did this feeling come? It came from where? This beautiful feeling, it came from where? Somewhere from inside. The treasure is inside. That's Buddha nature. From where these beautiful moments arise. For example, the mother's love towards the child. Beautiful feeling. The child's love towards the mother. Beautiful feeling. These feelings, they come from inside. They come from the inside. There's a treasure inside which is, you operate, you will not see that. But it's there. This is a non-tangible treasure store. This is the Buddha nature. Say for example, you learn something, you can learn all these things. These are all knowledge, they come from, external factors can contribute. External factors can contribute, But the knowledge coming from when the ignorance is removed, the knowledge comes out. You getting it? So Arya Nagarjuna, later on you will come to hear this name so often, Arya Nagarjuna. So his book, again it's a short composition, is included in this book, In Praise to Dharmadadu. It is in this book, In Praise to Dharmadadu, it talks about the Buddha nature. So beautiful. And I'd like to share with you one example, two examples. One example that he gave in this book says that, say that you have to sit for an exam the next day, and you plan to do the intense study the evening or the night. At the night, suddenly there's a power cut. There's no power. And then you come to me and ask, I have to study, but power cut. I said, don't worry, go to room A. In room A, there's a light. There's some candlelight there. And so you go there, you said, no, there's nothing, it's so dark. No, there's a light there. And you said, no, I went there. With my own eyes, I saw that it's just dark. Did you see some kind of picture, put upside down picture, or a vase, put upside down? Yes, there's a picture there, put upside down. The light is inside that. How do you know that there's light inside there? How do you know that? Okay, do one thing. Just punch a hole. Just punch a hole to this vase from any direction you like. Punch a hole anywhere. You punch a hole, what happens? From this hole, the light from inside beams forth. Right? Okay, which means that the light is inside. Without the light inside, you punch a hole, the light from inside will not come out. So, from there, when you create the situation, then it is like creating punch to this mental defilement. The light from inside, Buddha nature, from there, the beautiful moments arise. When the ignorance is removed, you have punch the outside mental defilement with the removal of a small piece of ignorance, and the knowledge comes out. So this is what happens. So then, if you're still not too convinced, then break a vase. Break the vase, then what happens? Light from inside will flow to all the directions simultaneously. You don't have to pull the light from here to this direction like this. Just remove the obstruction, and the light will on its own, this is nature, to move towards all the directions on its own. You don't have to do anything. Likewise, our mind, once the mental defilements are removed, then the mind inside will move towards all the beings with embrace, with total affection, wisdom, compassion, automatically on its own. So, that mind, that true nature which remains hidden in a moment, that is your Buddha nature, the seed of perfection, the treasure. It is because of this that the Buddha 2,500 years ago, in those days, just imagine the situation of people, situation of the world, everywhere in the world. Male chauvinism was predominantly the reality in those days. You agree? 2,000 years ago, even today, male chauvinism is there. 2,500 years ago is prevalently existent. And if you speak against male chauvinism, your life will be in danger. There's something wrong with you. Whereas this Prince Siddhartha, later who became the Buddha, he strongly spoke against the gender discrimination. He strongly stood against the racial discrimination, caste discrimination. He said that everybody's equal. What made him so confident, courageous to speak against all these discriminations is because he was aware of this Buddha nature in everyone. Why the prince is considered very important? Because he will become the king in the future. Right? What is more important, king or the Buddha? Buddha is more important. Everybody has the potential to become Buddha. So therefore everybody is equally important. There's no one gender which is more important over the other. There's no one caste which is more important over the other. Everybody is equal with this respect. So therefore the Buddha became extremely courageous. They advocate against all these forms of discriminations. Why? Because of this Buddha nature. He saw this Buddha nature present in everyone. So this is extremely precious thing. And then the more we study these, the more we contemplate, the more we come to know that you have the Buddha nature inside us. Within you, within others. Even if somebody who is who seems to have what less IQ, it's a matter of opportunities. If you give the opportunity, proper situation to that person, the person can also manifest the same, the potential. And I personally, I've actually, my conviction in the presence of Buddha nature within the beings, it grew very strong, stable, because of meeting with many people. At one point, they seem to be less intelligent, and through the creation of the environment, creating proper environment for the person intelligence simply, they boost it, or they become so sharp and intelligent. We can see that. Because of this, then what Buddha taught, the Buddha nature present in everyone, is so efficacious. Okay. So this is Buddha nature, and within the Buddha nature there are two kinds. And I will highlight. The other example which I promised to share with you of the two. The second one is that the analogy that he gave, Acharya Dignaga gave, and later you must study that book. It's not a book. It's just about maybe 100 something the verses. It's a very short text. You must study that. The other example, beautiful example that he gave is that our mind is like a soiled jacket or soiled cloth, a dirty cloth, a soiled cloth or a dirty jacket. And if the jacket is fireproof jacket, which is dirty because then it fell in the mud. So what you do is that you just put this in the fire. Jacket will not be burned because the jacket is fireproof. What will be burned? The dirt will be burned, right? The dirt will burn, and then when you take it out, it comes out clean. So this metaphor that he, beautiful metaphor. Our mind is like the fireproof jacket, and the metal defilements, they are like the mud. You put the mind with the mud, metal defilement, in the fire of the wisdom. This wisdom will burn the metal defilement, but the mind will not be burned because the mind never annihilates. Like the matter never annihilates, the mind also never annihilates. So the mind is not burned. What is burned? Metal dirt is burned. So what comes out? Very pure mind comes out. That is your Buddhahood. That is your Buddha nature manifested in full form. Okay. This is one thing. Then the next is, what's the time? According to the clock here, it says 5 minutes more. What's the time? 26. Okay, good. Still got some time. The next is that, so what we discussed thus far is number one, we all can become Buddhas, number one. Number two is that we all have the Buddha nature too, right? Okay, what will be the next question? Don't just say that in the temple I saw something, what is that? Don't ask irrelevant questions. You're getting it? Something related to what we studied. Okay.
Probably.
How we can Buddha.
How can we become Buddha? Same?
How do we?
How How to wake up?
How to remove the dirt?
How to remove the defilements? The metal defilements, metal dirts. Okay, good. How to remove that? Any other questions?
I guess the method, if any rule.
Is the same. What's the method to remove that? Or how to remove that? It's much the same over there, the lady there.
You said one, we can become Buddha. Two, we all have Buddha nature. Isn't Buddha nature the potential to become Buddha? So it's not the same thing?
Buddha nature, apple seed and apple is very different. If somebody says, please give me an apple, don't give apple seeds. Right? Right? Apple seed.
You said it can become Buddha, so that's the potential. So that is the seed, isn't it?
We have the seed of the Buddhahood, which is known as Buddha nature. So which means we can become Buddha means as the resultant state. Good. Okay. Yes.
Can I even become Buddha in this life?
Okay, first let's do the first thing first. And then the next part, right? If the answer is yes, we can become Buddha, and this is the way, then you can say, can this path be expedited? So that we can do it accomplish within a single lifetime, right? And if the answer is yes, can we do it within this very year? Right? Yes, today, right? Okay, these will be later. Okay, first is the what's the method, or how can we do that? This question. Anyone else? Yes.
How do we know we're on the right path?
Okay, how do we know? First we have to tell the path. Right? What the path is set, then how do we know this is the correct path? You getting it? Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
You said that in order to know that we have Buddha nature, we need to break the base. But breaking the base, isn't it like walking the way to enlightenment?
Yes, yes.
So it seems a bit like we said we need to know that we have Buddha nature before we walk the path.
No, this example given, the metaphor given, big vase so that the light inside is actually there, right? If you break the vase, then the light spread. Yeah, that's true. The light is there. You getting it? This is the metaphor. With the metaphor, then you have to go inside. So I said that first learn this example. Oh, with this example, your mind. If it's like this, then for sure our mind is a Buddha nature. But to really get a deep conviction in this, you have to do all these things like study, say, what's mental dirt. You getting it? So why I'm asking any more question is, before we say that how to be awakened, how to become Buddha, the first question that should come, which we missed, is that what are the mental defilements which block our Buddhahood? Once you identify the mental defilements, then how to remove the mental defilements? You getting it? So there are two questions there. First question is, what are the mental defilements which block our which block our attaining Buddhahood? Okay, what are the mental defilements? This is the question. For this mental defilement, is it clear? So the question is that we said that the first we begin by saying that we all can become Buddha. This is what we have learned. We have learned. You may not be convinced, don't worry. At least we have learned that. So we have to go towards getting conviction. Gradually will take time. Then if you say that we all can become Buddha, then for this, the next step that we'll learn is that in order to become Buddha, we need to have the Buddha nature. In order for the oil to come out, there should be the potential for the oil. In order for us to become a Buddha, we should have the Buddha nature. Then we said, yes, what is the Buddha nature? Then we explained. If it is like this, then what blocks this Buddha nature from becoming Buddha? What blocks? Once you know that, how to remove these mental defilements, mental dirt. So what are two questions? The first one is?
What are
What are the mental defilements which stop us from, which block this Buddha nature from becoming Buddha? Number one. What's the second question? How to remove these mental defilements? Good. Okay. The first. What are the mental defilements which block our Buddha nature? So broadly, two mental blocks are there. It is like, let's say that I don't take garlic and somebody smash garlic in my mug, in my glass. And then who smashed garlic in my glass? And you owned up. You said, I'm very sorry, I did it. And then you took the glass, you washed it so well, you removed the solid garlic, you washed it so well under the water. So is there any garlic? Now you just put your finger, see if there's any garlic. There's no trace of garlic there. All gone. You smell it. It still smells garlic. Although the solid garlic is gone, it still smells garlic. Likewise, the mental defilement, there are two kinds. One which is like the solid garlic mental defilement, and others like smell of the garlic like the mental defilements. There are two. Which two things more difficult to be removed? Solid garlic or the smell of garlic? Solid garlic. So, likewise, the mental defilements, there are two. One which is like solid garlic, easier to be removed, and the one which is smell like garlic, which is more difficult to be removed. Solid garlic like mental defilements is technically known as afflictive obscurations. Mental defilements, in general, they are referred to as the mental obscurations or obscurations. And the first one, the gross one, is known as afflictive obscurations. And second one, the subtle one, the smell of the garlic mental defilements is known as cognitive obscurations. The first one is afflictive obscurations, which is the gross one, and the subtle one is known as cognitive obscurations. And some translators translate it as obscuration to omniscience. It's the same. Obscuration to omniscience or cognitive obscuration. I would suggest you to learn both. Right? Don't go for the easier one. Learn both, so later on when you read both, the different translations will be used and you will not get lost. Okay, what are the two mental defilements? The gross one is known as afflictive obscurations, and the subtle one is known as cognitive obscurations. Okay, so we'll stop here. And then the group discussion, okay, let's say, for group discussions, I would suggest that the one venerable, the Megillah is there, we have Carl there, number 2, then we have Sheribama there, number 3, we have the Manidiba there, and Gabor. Gabor, you attend retreats?
Yes, this month.
Okay, so if you're retreat, in fact, I'm looking for those people who already attended my retreats. They know what and then we have also the Rishis there. So we have, okay, let's go like this. Venerable, this was Megillah here, number 1, and then Carl is there, number 2, Sheribama 3, and Manidiba 4, Gabor 5. So the Venerable Pella, so what is it? Rishi and Venerable will be together, and then let's say Carl and we can split into 4 or 5 groups. 5 groups. Okay, 5 groups. Then let's say that 1 Venerable and Rishi together, 1, and then Sheribama 2, Sheribama and Gabor. Or Gabor you want to do separate. Okay, let's say 1, and let's say Sheribama 2, 3, and then the Manidiba 4, I think that's it. Anyone else who attended my earlier retreats? I think that's it. So we split into 5.
5, yeah.
5, yeah. 5. And the idea is that the group leaders is just for today group, and then the Tomorrow also the same group leader, and then from there to tomorrow, then rotation within the same group. Then everybody will get a chance to be the moderator. It's more like the moderator to make sure that everybody speaks, that no one person dominates. This is the whole idea. That is the job of the leader, group leader. Okay. So the Venerable Kumpana will help us how to split all of us into 5 groups. Okay. Deyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasangati Bodhisvaha. 3 brushes together.